Now we know what to do. We just have to think about something. We have to have the right feelings, and we're going to make it happen.
You have to be authentic about it.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the problem that we are experiencing is that we hold lots of negative emotions inside of us. There's anger, there's resentment, it's hate, it's fear, anxiety, depression, worry, all this stuff. And this is preventing us to get all this stuff that you want to have. To achieve your desired goals and vision is those negative emotions, because they're pulling into your existence what you don't want, what you're afraid of. They bring exactly that into existence. I actually was working with a client 2 years ago, and interesting, the first session we had, he said, you know what, I'm so afraid of having an average life. He said, that really terrifies me, you know. And I said, oh, okay, so what does your life look like right now? And he thinks a little bit and he said, wow, my life is average. I said, yes, it is, because you are afraid of it. And that's what you created, an average life. So the recipe here is to remove the negative emotions, let go of old resentments. They're not serving you, they're just hurting you, not the other person. Let go of anger, let go of all this stuff. You don't need that. You know, 7 years ago when I was in that basement of that horror house and I was listening to my husband and all the threats that we were going through, I became a bitter and angry person, and I felt like I don't trust anybody anymore. I lost that trust in humanity overall. And one day I stopped myself in the middle of all this happening, so nothing was resolved yet, and I said, wait a minute, you are so bitter and angry now. Is this really who you want to be? Do you choose life like this? Because I always trusted in people. That was part of me. Since I was this little, I could see the beauty in people, like they're real, who they really are. Behind all those masks and their pretense, I saw their beauty. And that's why I always believed in people. And now that was kind of stripped away from me because I was so angry and in so much pain. And at that moment, I asked myself, is this really what I want? Do I want to be this angry person, or do I want to trust in people again? What do I want to do? And I said, you know what? I want to trust people. I want to be what I used to be. I want to be the same person. And that's when I started my forgiveness process. Still in the middle of everything happening, I decided to forgive my husband, to understand why he's doing what he's doing. And when I did that, I was back to being that person that I was before. Letting go of negative emotions is so, so important. I hardly meet any angry person now. They're not in my existence. Sometimes somebody pops up, probably just to let me know, hey, we still exist, in case if you didn't know. But I don't attract them because I'm not angry. But did you notice that angry people all the time complain how many angry people are around them? Did you notice that? Right? It's normal because emotions are magnetic, and that's what we attract into our life. So my advice to you would be, let go of negative emotions because they are not helping you. They're messing up with your life. Last year I worked with a client. We worked together only 1 month. In 1 month, we let go of several negative emotions, but the main one was anger. Guess what happened? By the end of that month, he was making 664% more money in his business than ever before. In 1 month, because we let go of negative emotions. And he's still growing his business. And each time he sees me, he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm so happy we did this work and stuff like that. But it's awesome what can happen when you do this stuff. And some of you might be skeptical about this, and that's okay. You know, I used to be skeptical too. I was a huge skeptic about this stuff, really. But then I realized it's not helping me. I can be either a skeptic or I can try it out and see what happens, right? You got a either or choice, and so I did it, and it works. It works. It's so powerful. Because just tell me, what are you attracting into your life? Do you have in your life what you want to have, or are there things that you don't want to see in your life? Be honest. Are there some things that you just don't want them, but they're there? Yeah, okay, your face is telling me everything, okay?
So I told Vicky
right?
in the car on the way here, I said, you know what, I'm pushing freaking 60 and I'm not anywhere near I wanted to be. Seriously, didn't I?
And that's why the reason is this and emotions, right? It's about breaking these cycles. It really is,
There's
right?
other stuff going on, but you know,
Yeah.
I said this is crazy.
So if you see things that are not working for you, something needs to change. There's something that you need to work on.